Sing Me to Sleep by Silvers_Wings on AO3. Summary. Aizawa is tired beyond words, and President Mike takes it upon himself to help him relax. Aizawa Shota was a tired man. Between his night work as a pro hero, random bouts with insomnia, and the all-too-much-effort job as Class 1A's teacher, Aizawa Shota was tired. The whole day had been chaotic, from the first hours of the day, where Todoroki had accidentally set Kaminari on fire, till lunch break, where Bakugo, for the fourth time this week, had launched an all-assault on Kirishima, just for stealing parts of his lunch. Aizawa rubbed his sore eyes, cursing that he had to use his quirk this much even outside hero work hours. Luckily, after his release with Raft upon the class after lunch, the rest of the day went fairly smooth. Dragging his body up the stairs to the apartment he had shared with his childhood friend and boyfriend, he could almost feel the bed underneath him. Opening the door to the apartment and kicking off his boots, he could hear Mike singing from the kitchen, which wasn't surprising. Aizawa even caught him singing in his sleep. Picking up the black cat that came from the hallway to greet him, Aizawa made his way towards the kitchen. "I'm home," he said, letting down the cat near the footbowl, and making his way over to Mike. "Oh, welcome home, dear. I didn't even hear you enter." Mike greeted him with a hug, smelling of citrus and hairspray as usual. "You look like hell," he added with a grin, poking a finger on Aizawa's cheek, which earned him a scowl from the other man. "If you had the same class I had, Hisashi, you would be dead," he retorted. "I'm gonna take a shower and take a nap. If anyone from school calls, tell them I died in a tragic accident." Mike laughed at that, giving him a peck on the cheek. "Don't fall asleep in the shower again, Shota, promise me," Mike yelled as he walked towards the bathroom, cringing at the memory of hysteric Mike shaking him awake in the shower after a 2-day underground job that left no room for sleep. After a very long and very warm shower, Aizawa felt a little more like a human, making his way across the apartment in his favorite sweatpants and t-shirt. So focused on sleep, he almost tripped over his cat, who looked incredibly insulted, only to be surprised to find Mike in bed. "Are you taking a nap too?" He must have looked pretty confused since Mike started to laugh. "Not everyone needs 3 naps to get through a day, Shota. I just wanted to spend some time with you, even if it means you being comatose for the most part." He beckoned Aizawa to come lie down next to him, and moved over to make room. Aizawa slumped down on the bed beside Mike, sighing in relief when his head hit the pillow. What was only hours ago felt like years, and he could finally relax. Mike giggled, laid down on the side and stroked Aizawa's hair, which earned him a hum in agreement from the tired man. Smiling, Mike started to gently pull his hands through Aizawa's hair, massaging the scalp and moving it out of his face so he could get a good look of the stoic man. "You really remind me of a cat, you know," Mike said, continuing petting, only getting a grunt in response. No matter how many times he saw his boyfriend like this, he'd always taken aback how different he looked when relaxed. Strong jaw, sharp nose, thick black hair which was softer than anyone could think, dark eyes which Mike could swear had violent tints to them. Beautiful was the only words Mike could think of that would fit him. Mike almost felt protective of him, being the only one who got to see him like this, with all his guards down, something he really cherished. "Have you been sleeping lately, by the way?" This made Aizawa open his eyes, looking at Mike's worried face. The random episodes of insomnia he could live with, but the night terrors that followed he would rather be without. Waking up in the middle of the night, awful memories of both his past and things he experienced at work flashing through his head, felt like his chest was going to explode. And worst of all, waking Mike in the progress, leaning on him to calm him down, whispering in his ear that everything is okay. As much as he hated it, he was grateful that Mike was there, not sure what we would have done without him. It's been okay. Shota? Aizawa hated that look he got in return. All right, fine. It's not been all great. I've got more hours, but the nightmare's been getting worse. He looked away, ashamed of his problems, until a finger under his chin brought him face to face with a set of concerned green eyes. Maybe we should see if he could find some sort of sleep remedies that could help? I'm not interested in taking any pills, Hisashi. You know that. I'm not talking about pills. Maybe some kind of tea or... It's not gonna work. Aizawa grumbled, and he pulled the comforter close to his face. Mike sighed. Trying to find a way to help the most stubborn man in Japan was going to age him 10 years. He was sure of it. Aizawa got lost in thought for a second, pulling the comforter all the way to his nose to hide the blush he felt creeping in. There was this one thing he'd always wanted to hear, but asking for it would be very embarrassing for him. Sensing that the man almost fully under the covers wanted to say something but couldn't, a special talent Mike picked up during the years of their domestic relationship, he scooted closer and pulled down the comforter to reveal an embarrassed Aizawa with flushed cheeks and a hard glare the opposite way of where Mike was. Shota, tell me what's going on in your mind, please. I'm sure I can help, but I kinda need to hear what it is first. Cursing his boyfriend's intuition, he pulled down the comforter and looked at the man beside him. Would you mind... Mike, it's stupid. Shota? Would you mind singing to me? To be honest, Mike was taken aback at the request. He was singing most of the day, no matter where he went, but usually tried his best, not usually with much success, to be quiet during the evenings, mostly because of Aizawa's naps. Like a lullaby? Aizawa tried to will the blush he knew was dominating his face. I don't really care what you sing. I just like listening to your voice. Mike couldn't stop himself from giggling, propping himself up so he was sitting, looking down the flushed man beside him. Well, if you insist. He more or less beamed now. Get comfortable before I start, Shota. You're gonna fall asleep after this, I promise. A huff of laughter escaped Aizawa as he moved around a bit before settling in comforters pulled up to his chin. Tired eyes looking up at Mike, giving him a little nod. Mike coughed a few times before starting to sing in a smooth, slow voice. After... Aizawa felt like his bones would melt into the bed. Mike's voice was smooth, low, and what Aizawa could only explain as peaceful. Looking up at Mike, he was sitting in bed, legs crossed and eyes closed, swaying slightly from side to side in the rhythm with the music. Eyes becoming incredibly heavy, he closed them and felt like he was floating. A feeling of being calmed embraced him, a sensation he couldn't even remember the last time he felt. He didn't recognize the song, but the lyrics were beautiful. He felt conscious slip and allow himself to fall into the darkness. Finishing the song, close to a whisper, Mike cast a glance down at the man beside him, not being able to contain his grin. A light flushed adored Aizawa's cheeks, his features completely relaxed, most of his body hidden under the security of his comforter, looking almost blissful. Mike leaned down as carefully as he could and planted a kiss on Aizawa's forehead, and then proceeded to try and get out of bed as gently as possible to not wake the other man. Standing a few seconds in the doorway to the bedroom, just looking fondly towards Aizawa, Mike sighed, thankful for the man heavily sleeping in bed. Turning to walk out, he noticed a big pair of yellow eyes staring at him from the floor. It's just you and me tonight, little buddy. how do you feel about tuna for dinner? He said with a smile, picking up the cat and holding it carefully in his arms while walking into the kitchen, singing the same song he now decided would be his new favorite song. So, surprise, surprise, I am still sick. And actually, my voice is definitely worse because, okay, you're hearing this and you're like, oh, it sounds alright. This is how my voice actually fucking sounds like. That whole pitchy thingy, that is me upping my fucking high pitch because my regular voice, because this is my regular voice speaking, is so fucking raspy. And why is it this raspy? It shouldn't be this raspy. Whatever, point taken is, I'm so sick. So sorry about my voice quality being lower than usual. If I wasn't sick, I probably would have sang the lyrics that are on this fanfic. I don't know what I got. Okay, whatever. On this fanfic, the song, and there is lyrics in the fanfic. The song that Mike sings to Aizawa is Sing Me to Sleep, very funny, haha, by Alan Walker. I listened to the song and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna be able to sing. Maybe if it was a lower pitch, I would be able to sing because, you know, my voice seems to be on the lower end spectrum right now because of my sickness. But nope, nah, can't sing a high-pitched song. At least not right now with my voice being like this. It's really hard to control it and stuff like that. Still sick. Hopefully this will wear off later down the road. Yeah, as always, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds, have a wonderful day or night. Join our community Discord server, link is in the description, subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.